You know, what if the biggest threat to your relationship isn't some huge dramatic fight, but a quiet, creeping habit that you barely even notice? Well, today we're diving into a really powerful idea from the book Covenant Marriage. It's all about one fundamental choice that can either build a partnership up or, well, silently tear it apart from the inside out. So let's just start with the big question right out of the gate. What do you think is the single greatest destroyer of a marriage? Seriously, take a second. Is it money? Maybe infidelity? Or just plain bad communication? And yeah, of course, those are all huge issues. But the source for this explainer points to something a lot quieter, way more subtle, and honestly, far more common. The answer, according to the book, is selfishness. It's called the silent destroyer for a reason. It's not loud or explosive. Instead, it works behind the scenes, kind of like rust, just slowly corroding the very foundation of a relationship long before any big, obvious crisis shows up. And the book has a name for what this causes: emotional divorce. Now, this has nothing to do with lawyers or paperwork. It's all about a gradual disconnection. It's that slow drift apart that happens when my needs consistently win out over our needs. And this, right here, really lays out the stakes. A relationship can go down one of two paths. On one side, you have a marriage that's just full of pressure, resentment, and disconnection. But on the other, you have one built on peace, trust, and unity. This is the fork in the road we're really looking at today, a choice between two totally different realities. So, what does this emotional divorce actually look like in the real world? How do you even know if it's happening? Let's get into the anatomy of this disconnection so we can all spot the warning signs.
The source defines it as this critical tipping point. It's the moment when the question, how does this make me feel, completely and totally replaces how will this impact us? It's a huge shift from being on the same team to just being two individuals living in the same space.
So, how does this whole starvation thing actually play out? Well, think about it. Every time personal comfort gets prioritized over the partnership, or one person's schedule always has to win, a little piece of the connection just erodes. A bit of that emotional safety gets destroyed. And over time, that shared bank account of goodwill, it just gets completely drained. Okay, but that downward spiral is not inevitable. Not at all. There is a powerful, active antidote that can build a completely different kind of relationship. And the keyword here is choice. This isn't about waiting to feel unselfish. It's about an intentional, deliberate action. Now, it is absolutely crucial to understand what unselfishness is and what it isn't. This is not about being a doormat or erasing your own identity, not at all. It's about having a generous spirit, being consistent in how you love, and just letting go of that mental scorecard of who did what for whom. And this is where the theory becomes real life. It's about choosing a kind tone of voice, even when you're completely exhausted. It's about being generous with your time, not just your wallet. It's making big and small decisions with your partner in mind, not just yourself. These are the small, daily moments where the battle against selfishness is actually won. And when that choice is made, and then made again and again, a really remarkable transformation starts to happen. The entire atmosphere of the relationship can shift from this place of constant pressure to one of just profound peace. I just love this quote from the source because it's so simple, but it says everything. I mean, imagine coming home to a place of peace versus a place of pressure. That one change impacts your entire well-being, and it really is the ultimate outcome of making this unselfish choice. You can actually map out the journey from resentment back to restoration. It follows a really clear path. You can see right here how one person making that single choice for unselfishness can completely interrupt the negative cycle. It's the turning point that allows trust to start rebuilding, and that's what ultimately leads to that established peace we were just talking about. And this choice sets off such a powerful chain reaction. When resentment finally dissolves, it makes room for trust to grow. That trust allows for tenderness to be restored. And all of this builds and builds, culminating in a much stronger, more unified partnership. So what's the long-term payoff for all this? We're not just talking about having a better week or a less stressful month. We are talking about building a completely different and much stronger foundation for your entire future together. And this really is the ultimate takeaway from our source material today. The consistent, daily practice of choosing unselfishness over selfishness, it's not just a nice behavior. It's foundational. It creates what the source calls a covenant family, a stable, resilient structure that can handle challenges and is built to last. So, we'll end right where we started with a question for you to think about. What's the emotional climate in your relationship? Is it a place of pressure or is it a place of peace? The answer, as we've seen today, often comes down to that one simple but incredibly powerful choice. Thanks for digging into this with me.